I just want to introduce this very important lady here, who was a great mother of influence all the time that I was going to the University of Saskatchewan. My mom, Denise, who is going to be celebrating 100 years as a Saskatchewan resident in 4 days. And, you know, she was a very important influence for me, and, you know, even did things like typed essays, and I think she typed my master's thesis at the university. So. In terms of my years at the university, some of the classes I enjoyed the most were ones that had, you know, very, very engaging teachers and professors. Some of them were real characters. One of them, Norman Ward, is a well-known political scientist and also humorist. I think he was known nationally. And another political science prof that I had was Gene Porter, and he was full of great expressions. And I think they really turned me on to the subjects that I was taking. And they, you know, stimulated my imagination, opened up horizons for me. So, but in terms of a specific memory, I recall a time in 1972 when Pierre Trudeau was Prime Minister, and it was the election. The election actually resulted in a minority, and that was the famous Land is Strong, and he was going across the country, and he appeared on the campus of the University of Saskatchewan. And I remember being able to ask him a question on something on effective demand and the national economy, and it was something I had sort of pulled out of my economics classes. And I remember that night it was the question that made the CBC National News that night. So that was kind of an interesting memory, but yeah, among many others.
So how did your arts and science education help you in your career?
Well, I think it certainly gave me a very, very solid formation in the social sciences, particularly political science and economics. And, you know, it's always important to have, I think, a very solid basis for that. And that also kind of, I think, develops, you know, good habits, disciplines, perseverance, and that kind of thing. And so I found myself in subsequent career drawing on many things that I had learned at the university. You know, when I first started, like when I posed that question to Prime Minister Trudeau, I had no idea then that I would end up on the Hill, you know, working for, you know, senior politicians, ministers, and that kind of thing. But it was certainly a very good grounding in kind of the basics, and I think I really kind of honed my particular interest in public affairs. Starting at the University of Saskatchewan, so it's always stood me in very good stead.
So what advice would you offer to current students in the College of Arts and Science?
Well, one thing, I mean, it sure helps to have supportive parents, but I would say, you know, take advantage of every opportunity to learn new things, to have new experiences. You know, these sometimes only come around, you know, once. So don't ever, you know, shrink back from trying something new. And also, I mean, make sure you have, I think, a good, you know, solid grounding in a number of, you know, basic kind of disciplines. Because you can always learn the specifics and the details and like technical details later. But if you don't have, you know, kind of the basic formation in terms of being able to construct arguments, writing, communicating, you know, then you'll be sort of at a disadvantage later on. So I think it's very important to kind of hone those basic skills. Because even though now, you know, at a click of a mouse, you know, we can go on the internet and we can get all kinds of stuff. I mean, the fact is that, you know, as I like to put it, you know, quality is always going to beat out quantity. So you can get a huge amount of stuff, you know, off of websites. But to be able to evaluate what is truly valuable, to be able to synthesize that, to be able to turn that into something that can be communicated to other people, those are all very, very important skills. And those are skills that you can pick up, I think, in, in undergraduate studies. I mean, it's an ideal time to do that. And, well, I think Saskatchewan people, I think, have, it's the big skies and they have kind of a wide horizon. So, yeah, keep enlarging your horizons. And a love of learning, that becomes a lifelong love. If you cultivate that when you're in university, it'll be with you throughout your life.